All right, what is happening, my fellow e-bikers? I do my best to try to keep you updated on all the gadgets and gizmos and things that I use on my bikes, and I try to update my website, although I am terrible about it and I am sorry. But ridewithcitizen.com, I have a lot of my accessories and things listed there for my bikes, so if you're looking for something, check there. Although, I don't have much time to update that, and I'm not a web page designer, so it's kind of bad, but I'll do my best at it. But I am going to show you something new today, this right here, a rear view camera for a bicycle. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I tend to put bar end mirrors on almost every single bike I get, because I have to have mirrors. I just can't live without them. I'm constantly looking for mirrors if I don't have them, so I try to add them to almost every bike. But we got the Ariel Rider bike here today, which is where I put this rear view camera, and I'll explain why here in a second. But I went out to go buy bar end mirrors for it and stumbled across the camera. I think someone had told me about it in a comment before on one of my mirror videos, and I had to do it. I had to try it and see if it works. So I'm going to show you today what it looks like, how I mounted it, and what it looks like working out in the streets. So let's take a look. But first, look at this beautiful X Class bike from Ariel Rider. I did a whole review on this bike. Check out that video as well. I'll link in the description. But here, my friends, is the camera that I bought. I'll link it in the description so you know which exact one I'm showing you here. But let's take a look at how I mounted it. So when I decided I wanted to put mirrors on this bike, I realized that I would have to cut through the grips again. I almost always have to cut through the grips, and these are really nice grips where they're branded Ariel Rider, and it just, I don't know, I hesitated to cut through those ones, and I stumbled across the camera thing, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the perfect bike to try this out on. So here it is. It's a pretty big display screen actually for this camera, and let me turn it on. Just a quick power button on the back, and there it is. So you can see the trailer behind me that's showing you. It's a pretty clear image on this camera, surprisingly. This screen, so you know, is about, I think it's 3 1/4 tall and like 4 3/4 wide. So it's a large and in charge screen, and that is why it is on the X Class Ariel Rider bike, because you have to have space up here in your handlebar area to mount this. And this is one of the few bikes I had where there's actually space up here to mount this gigantic display screen for the camera. So this is the Ariel Rider's display. It's just tiny little one off to the side. So all this was open space, and the way I mounted it was I bought one of those handlebar extension things right here. Again, I'll link all this stuff in the description for you. But it's just a little thing that clamps on your handlebars and gives you an extra bar out here to mount accessories. So that's how I have it mounted on there. It comes with its own mounting bracket to mount right onto that bar. Those things are cheap. I don't know, they're like 10 bucks maybe or something. The camera was like 50. So it's actually pretty cheap, given how well it works and how good it looks. I think, I mean, for 50 bucks, it's pretty slick. So you've got obviously the display screen here, and it's got a wire. It comes out the side here, and I've got it just kind of wrapped around here, all the extra slack. And then it comes back here and under the seat, and then we're back to our actual camera, which is right here. So this is kind of an odd setup. This is not how it's meant to be attached. It is meant to use this thing right here. This clamps onto your seat post, and then this little ball right here actually goes in there, and you can adjust it. But obviously no seat post on this bike. And you got to think about too, if you have a bike with a seat post and you have a rack on the back with a pack on top of that rack, it's going to block the camera. So you might have to do what I did and get creative with how you mount this camera. So I put this on here as kind of a temporary way of doing it, but the more I've ridden it now for like a week and it hasn't budged, so I might just leave it here like this kind of permanently. But I just it's round, so it's really hard to mount the thing. I took a piece of double stick tape under there, just kind of hold it in place, and then this is just a giant zip tie that I strapped it down with that, and put another zip tie on the cord there, and it's fine, hasn't budged. I wanted to get a functioning prototype of if it was going to work or not, and it actually works. So I'm probably going to leave it on this bike. I think the display screen looks great on this. It fits right in on this bike. It looks like it's meant to be there. So that is how I have it set up and wired and attached and everything. Again, there was just no place to mount this thing. There's no round bars anywhere here to clip this onto. So this is the solution that I came up with. the display screen up here does have its own internal, battery bank that charges up. So you're not running, this isn't running off of the bike. This is running off of the camera's battery. Although, it does have ports over here where I suppose if you ran out of battery in the camera, you could plug it into, your USB battery port on the side there of your bike battery and charge it if it ran out. But I've been using it for like a week and it still shows full power. So it lasts for quite a while, I think. And it does also have a night vision feature on it. Just one button down here you push, so it's going to be you'll be able to use it at night, which is kind of cool. Better than mirrors, I guess, in that sense. You're going to be able to see what's behind you with the infrared system. But let's go get out on it. I want to show you what it looks like going down the road. I'm going to do my best to stabilize the camera and give you a good shot. I've got this little gadget here. I'll link it again in the description because people always ask me about this when they see it. This clamps on to here, or any bar on a bike, really. And then I can mount my GoPro stuff to this, and then I have a nice steady camera shot. I've been doing that more on my top speed pedaling type runs because then it doesn't get so much camera shake from my chest mount on the GoPro thing. But yeah, this is kind of a handy little gadget. So I'll mount it right here. We would get a nice clear camera shot of it, and you can see what it looks like going down the road, how easy it is to see cars approaching and all that. So let's go out and jump out and do that. All right, well, hopefully it's set up where you guys can see the screen even in the sunlight. But we're out here in some downtown traffic. Downtown in my town is not busy. So, and it's Sunday morning, so it should be a nice, calm, easy ride. But we'll hopefully get some cars in front of us and behind us. Oh, we can see one approaching, so there you go. I can see it from pretty far back. I've noticed, though, that the car appearance in the camera display here, it's when you turn around and look, it's closer than you think. So objects are closer than they appear, I guess. It takes a nice wide camera shot, and it's pretty clear. I mean, the display is pretty crystal clear, so I'm pleased with that. But this is an option if you want mirrors, but you don't want to make your handlebars like any wider, then this might be a good gadget for you. But you gotta have the space on your handlebars to mount it. That's probably the big thing, finding a space for this giant screen. Wait for that car. Yeah, I mean, it works pretty good. I can see cars coming from the sides, so happy with that. Here's another one. Let's get a good sense of how close this one is. There you go. That's what it looks like with a car approaching. All right, well, that is the rear view camera. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Is this something you guys would use? Would you consider putting this on your bike? You got room for this on your bike? I mean, it's $50 on Amazon. I'll link it below. You're gonna spend like 30 on mirrors anyway, right? So it's not that much more expensive. I'm a little impressed with how clear of a shot it gives you. I mean, I have no problem seeing traffic approaching from behind. It is cloudy today though. Maybe that's helping. If the bright sun was blazing on this screen, maybe it would be harder. I don't know. But it's pretty crystal clear. For $50, I'm impressed with the picture quality of it. But I'm a little curious what it would look like at night. I'll try to get some photos or a quick clip of it at night so you know how well you can see. I mean, it's got to be better than mirrors at night, right? Except for if there's traffic approaching from behind you and they have their headlights shining in the camera. Is that going to blow out the camera? That might. We'll see what that looks like tonight. But the other thing I'll mention too is, so with mirrors, I just kind of glance at the mirrors to check behind me. But with the screen, I find myself watching it longer. So maybe it's more distracting because you've got a big old TV screen in front of your face. I tend to look at it longer than I look at mirrors. But I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm going to leave it on this bike. I think it works well on this bike. So we'll leave it here for now. Let me know what you guys think. If any of you have one of these on your bike, you've had it there long term, let everybody know in the comments if you're happy with that long term or if you'd just rather have mirrors that never fail. But that's all I got for you today. So thank you for clicking on the video. If you enjoyed, give me that thumbs up. Helps me out on YouTube. Subscribe so you can see more quick videos like this. And I've got more review videos on the way on a couple new bikes. So check back for those. That's all. Thank you so much for watching.